AMP has shattered many records and individually achieved extraordinary things that will be talked about for years. But there's a part of AMP that is very overlooked, and that's pretty important. So important, in fact, that if this part was gone, AMP would crumble. This is the backbone of AMP. This team has something that even the biggest teams in the world don't have, and the stories of how they came together are amazing. First is Bake. Agent had several people working with his mini channels, and one of those people was Toasted. Toasted had known Bake for 5+ years and knew he went to film school. That means he has experience in organizing scenes, cameras, lighting, and everything that AMP needed. So Toasted recommended him, and Bake got the position. But what kept him there was his hard work and results, because the first video he produced for AMP was in the top 3 YouTube trending. Now Shane, the CEO of AMP. He's referenced from time to time in AMP videos, but where he came from was the Raptors 2K team. He met Agent there while running the 2K team. He has a history of directing teams like Luminosity, Maple Leaf Hockey Team, United Basketball, and the Toronto Soccer Team. And this was a big factor in him getting picked up as the CEO of AMP. But being the CEO doesn't mean he owns AMP. As he said, AMP nearly owns all of it. He helps AMP with major decisions and helps with their strategic direction. This is Waleed, and he films for AMP. Chris, the guy that films for Kai, he's the lead camera for AMP. Waleed played a huge part in Agent's success, but he never sought out to contribute so much. Waleed started off working 2 jobs, one at Shoppers Drug Mart and another one at Best Buy. And one day, Agent asked Waleed to help him with videos because his videos were starting to blow up. He started with physical tasks and eventually transitioned to editing. When he started to edit, he knew nothing about it, and Agent needed daily videos. There was a big learning curve to this, but from doing daily videos for years, he eventually learned it and could do it with ease. He got it down to the point where he was able to become the creative director for Agent's channel. As time went by, Agent kept making channels. He went from working on 1 channel to working on 4 different channels. And one of those channels was AMP. Waleed was there from the very start of this channel and has helped out ever since. Now, staying on the topic of editors, we all know Chris Next Door helped AMP in its early stages. I made a video on that, you can go check that out. And he handed it off to Kenkles. At hindsight, Kenkles was an average editor. It wasn't guaranteed he could do what Chris did, but with all eyes on him and with the high expectations that Chris set, Kenkles had to make this work. But before this great opportunity, there was a situation that nearly destroyed his life. Kenkles started out with making edgy videos, and this caught the attention of Phantom. Phantom liked his humor, and from this, they connected. And after 12 videos, Kenkles stopped making these kind of videos and pursued full-time into video editing.
My first customer or whatever was LSK. From LSK, I was editing for so many fucking people, especially in the 2K community.
Who did you edit for?
Coleman, Hank, Grinding. Only people I haven't edited for in the 2K community was probably you and Davis. I would edit for like 4 people a day.
Jesus.
And the result from doing all this work, he got serious health problems.
When I would edit, I never went to the gym and I would edit like this with my neck forward. And then I got to a point where I was at a Yankees game. My neck went into like I just felt hella shit just go up my neck, and my neck went numb, and then my jaw went numb, and then I couldn't move my eye. And it got worse over time to where I couldn't even get out of my bed, or like it'd feel like I was gonna pass out. I was in so much pain every single day. Like I would just be laying down staring at the ceiling. I was going to the hospital all the time too. Like it was bad. My anxiety was crazy. And it felt like my head was gonna explode every day. Like there was so much pressure in my head because I guess the nerves, they made all my muscles tight. And it was like a
And that happened from editing too much? That is crazy.
It got worse over time, like to the point where I had to sell like everything I owned. I had to sell it just so I could like pay for doctors, MRIs and shit.
And no one could tell him what was wrong with him. And after 2 long years of doing stretches and exercises, he recovered on his own. And now he has to get money to pay back the doctors that didn't even help him. But with his past editing skills and credibility, he was able to land jobs with 2Hype and other LA YouTubers. As Kenkles started to get back on his feet, Phantom called him and asked him if he wanted to be a part of AMP. And Kenkles was ready for this. There was a learning curve, but Chris helped him get down the AMP format. He was able to turn around and edit one of the most popular series, Road Trip. Kenkles went from being in a vegetative state, life crumbling before his eyes, to now having a $1 million contract with AMP. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. This team is obviously doing very well in many different ways. But what do they have that's so different from the average one? What is the thing they all have in common?
Rebound. Okay.
Wishing this guy.
2K, the editors, producers, managers, CEO, almost everyone has a connection to 2K. This is crazy because I would never expect a basketball video game to birth so many top streamers and YouTubers. Something I learned from this was no one really knows what they're doing. Cankles, for example, he was literally an average LA editor, nowhere near the uniqueness of Chris when he came onto the team. Then he switched. Chris taught him and he learned and got to that level, and now he's the lead editor. And Waleed didn't know anything about editing when starting on a channel with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. What we really have to do is just try with the things that we already have, and as you get results, when you add on the equipment, editors, and all that other stuff, it's like you don't need all the things that the top creators necessarily have. I think when you limit yourself, when you can really see your best work. When you have everything, you don't feel that pressure. When it comes to everything of equipment, when it comes to everything of time, you don't have that pressure. And when having that pressure, you're forced to think of something creative or think of something that's kind of forced to get it done. And you're forced to like meet those standards that you set for yourself. And I think that's when you make your best work, because when you sit on something for a long time, that's just not going to be improving as much as putting pressure. So I realized that myself. I have several videos that I'm working on. I have like 2 videos I'm working on, and I've just been sitting on them for, not really sitting on them, but like kind of articulating and trying to make them the best story, best editing, and all this different things. But it's not how you improve. It's cool sitting there thinking about that feeling you want the viewer to feel, but to really go to the next level, to improve, take off some notches, is to constantly have that pressure, constantly forcing yourself to learn new things while in that pressure. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I did with this video. Just tried to put pressure on myself, try to get this video out as soon as possible. Like it may not be the best video, it may not be the video that's gonna blow up or do really good, but I try my best regardless.